Alright you guys, today is the day I've been wanting to do this video for a long time, and today we're going to be talking about the importance of saving your own seeds. That's right, your own seeds. Alright, so these are the kale seeds that we are growing now, and we actually planted these seeds back last fall, so they've been continuing growing. They started to go to seed, and I decided to keep watering them because I don't want them to die off, because I specifically want to start saving these for seeds. So you have to wait for them to get into these pod stage, and this is a red Russian kale, and this is how they look. They started growing these little pods, almost look like beans. But inside are actual are the seeds, and so that you know what the red Russian kale looks like. They have these beautiful green with the purple stems, really beautiful color, and these are really good. So they grow really well, and we like using them all the time. So this year, because everything is going so much higher in price, and not only that, things are just disappearing. Like when this whole thing started with the whatever you want to call it, I'm not going to get into the names, but you couldn't find seeds. I mean, they were selling out like that. I mean, it was just like faster than I thought it was going to be, but yeah, that's how fast it can happen. So what happens, when you can't get the seeds, then you're pretty much screwed. So that's why it's important to save as many seeds as you can. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to just cut these from the stalks. And then I'm going to go set them out to dry, and so I don't have to go too low. I'm just going to cut them maybe halfway down. Just use my cutters here, just like that. Alright, and now you can actually still let these grow if you want to. I don't like the way they taste. They taste really bitter, and they start getting really tough, so I'm not a fan of continuing them to grow for harvesting the kale, but I will definitely harvest these seeds. So let me go ahead and harvest the rest of these, and then I'll show you what we got. And as you can see here, some of these got, I don't know what happened with some of these, but they get pretty much dry like this. And let me see if I can break them up in my hand. Let's see if I can put this down. There we go. So you can see those little guys right there. Little tiny, little black guy. Let's see if I can put them in my hand. Oh, yeah. There's a few seeds right there. So those are your kale seeds right there, just like that. So that's how simple that is. And now this one is a good example because these were already kind of broken up, and something got to it. I don't know if the birds got to it, but I would probably think I could get probably 3 times that much from one that wasn't messed up. Here's one right here that looks like it's still not quite dry enough, but I'm gonna see if I can cut that open. Oh yeah, look at that. And I think a couple of them just fell already, but we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so that's 12 right there. Just like that. So yeah guys, I mean, that's how easy it is to save these seeds. And we already had some of these done, not these particular, but some other greens that we had, pak choi, that we let grow to seed, and we let them dry out. So I'm going to show you those real quick. Alright guys, I apologize. I ended up losing the second half of that video, so I'm going to redo it. Apparently I got on my soapbox and wasn't allowed to upload the video, but that's another story. So once you got your cuttings, what you want to do is dry them out. Put them in an airy place, away from the sun, and you want to keep it out there for a good week or two, and then they'll dry out pretty nicely. So as you can see here, This is the kale, and I already did some pak choi last harvest, and we already had that dried up, and I wanted to save it just for you guys. So this is an example of what it will look like pretty much when it's all dried up. Alright, so you can see the big difference there. You can still see the green in here, where this one is completely colorless, not colorless, but you can see it's all really dried out. So I'm going to take a little piece of this and open up these pods so you can take a little closer look at this stuff. Alright, so this is a little example I'm doing here. So I'm going to crack one of these pods open so you guys can get a close look at how easy it is to harvest these things. So all you want to do is just take one of these pods and just press it with your fingers, and they'll just snap right open. They should split pretty much in half. See, they're already starting to come out, and you can see them in the pod right there. Some of them were on the other side. So there's like there's 4 right here, and let me see how many we get all together. So I'm going to dump that out. Oh, yep. So 2, 4, 6, 8. So we got about 10 little seeds just from this one pod. So, and they're not all going to be the same. You know, you roughly might get more in others. But let me do another one so you guys can see again. See if I can get my fingers in view. Can you see that? Mm-hmm. Alright. So I'm just going to squeeze it slightly. Open it just like that, and they're already popping out. Yep. So, and you know, you basically just repeat this process until you get all the seeds. Now, I'm sure you could probably take all this and crunch it all up to do it faster, but and then probably air it out. But I don't want to do that because these seeds are really light, and I want to make sure I don't get all this junk and have to sift through all that. So I'm just going to do them like this. It's just easier, and you know, it's one way for me to just connect with what I'm doing too. So the next part is where to store your seeds. So let me show you that real quick. So once you've got your seeds, the next thing you want to do is put them in a dry place. And if you hear some sounds, my cats are over here hanging out on the deck. I like to separate mine out. I like to keep all my tomatoes in one place. Now these I've been keeping for a long time. These are all different types of varieties. Let me just pull out a few so you guys can see. This is from 2017, Prudent Purple. We got Rebel. What is that? Oh, that's a pepper. What is a pepper doing in my thing? Ah, all right. So yeah, we got Cherokee 2017. We have some Sunrise Bumble, and that's 2018. Red Pisa. You know, the list goes on. Green Zebras.
So what do you want to put on the envelopes?
The main thing you want to do when you set your envelopes up is write down the variety, the date, and of course how many seeds you have. I like to count my seeds, and that way when I use my seeds, I subtract it from that. That way I know exactly how many are in each particular envelope. And just in case you're wondering, these are envelopes that we make ourselves, and they're pretty simple to make. You know, you don't have to make them yourself, but that's just something that we like to do. And let me just show you an example of one. So this is an empty one. I haven't used it yet. And just so you know, we have these printed out. Kathy just makes these herself, and we print them out. And as you can see, the lines here, the separated lines, this is where you make their creases. Like I said, you don't have to do this. You can buy them or make them yourself. We just prefer to make it ourselves. And the main thing is make sure that you keep your seeds in a cool, dry place. You don't want them exposed to the elements. And I know some people do keep them in their freezer for a really long time frame. Just remember that if you do that and you take it out for seeding, and you still have some left over, there might be some condensation issues if you try to put them back in the freezer. Just keep that in mind. We just like to keep ours in a dry place. We don't put them in the fridge. And I've had these for several years, and they germinate perfectly fine. So the next thing we like to do is to try to organize as best we can, because when you have so many seeds, you want to make sure you use your older seeds first, okay? Because it's really easy to, you know, go through a whole bunch of seeds and you see, oh, the newest one, and then you plant that, and then that seed, you know, the older one gets left behind another year. So I have this little shoe box here. We have several shoe boxes.
It's not a shoe box.
I'm sorry.
It's a picture box.
Picture box. It looks like a shoe box to me, though. This is a photo box, and we get this from Michaels. They have all kinds of stuff like this. And we use this just so we can store our seeds and organize. And I separate them out by the year. So, for example, this is 2019, and I have a separator here, 2018. I have another one here, 2017, and another one somewhere around here, 2016. And these are just seeds that we got from different places, different seed providers. And I keep the seeds that we grow ourselves and harvest ourselves in a separate bag, just because I just prefer to do it that way. So you don't have to do it that way. It's just something that I like to do to keep things a little bit simple. Some seeds aren't going to last as long as others either. So keep in mind, like, you know, seeds such as onions, you know, your lettuces, they're not going to last as long as like your tomatoes and your peppers, you know. I mean, I've got tomato seeds that, you know, 10 plus years and they will germinate. And if you're not sure, you know, if you have old seeds and just, let's say you're planting your next season, and you know, you're not sure, don't assume that those are going to all pop. So you always have to plant for failure. And what I mean by that is, like, you know, in any kind of, you know, situation, you know, for whatever reasons germination didn't occur on one particular seed or another, and then let's say if you plant, you know, let's just throw 20 tomatoes out there, and that's what you want to grow is 20 tomatoes, and you need to grow more than 20 seeds. I would, you know, probably do like 30 seeds, you know, to account for failure, because not only is the failure of germination, but there's also the failure of, you know, after that. So, you know, if once you plant it and you transplant it, for whatever reason something might happen, you know, it might get a disease, you don't know what might happen. So again, I plan for that, and I even go further than that. You know, when I was on the farm, assuming that certain plants were going to be taken out through wildlife and whatever, and so then I would account for that, or, you know, just whatever conditions might be, you know, happening that will wipe out a few of your tomato plants. So if you really want a certain amount of tomato plants that you're planting for, like for example Romas, you know, we're going to be doing some canning this year, so we kind of did some measurements of or some calculations on how many jars we want to be able to make, so that we can store for longevity and be able to make sauces with it, you know, different types of things, salsa, stuff like that. And so with each plant that you get for aroma, for example, I'm just guesstimating, you know, and it all depends on, you know, your soil, but let's just say you get, you know, 10 aromas out of each plant. So from there you can kind of calculate, okay, how many tomatoes can you fit in a jar, and then how many jars do you want to have in the long run. So if you have you want to have a pantry of, like, you know, I don't know, 20 or 30 jars, then you need to account for that. So we might have to do a special video for that. I don't know. So, but we're definitely planning on doing some canning this year. So we're really looking forward to that. So did I leave anything out?
I don't think so.
No? Okay. I'm not going to get on a soapbox again because I want to make sure this video goes through. But I will say, you know, enjoy life, guys. Get out there, breathe some fresh air, drink a lot of water. Try to keep yourself stress-free. There's a lot of drama for your mama going on out there. If you listen to the Cartoon News Network, stay away from it. It's just a lot of BS, guys. I mean, don't fall for the hype. It's just, you know, I'm not even, that's as far as I'm going to go right there. So that's it, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. It helps our channel. And once again, I hope you guys are doing your thing out there and keep growing organic and stay positive. And yeah, until the next time, see you guys later.